right. Leo, welcome back.
My brother from another mother.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You've been changing a lot, man. You have a new profile picture. You got, you know, everything is somewhat new. You're in week 5, and we also said week 6 as well because we're a bit late with this recording due to, problems from my end and your end and all kinds of ends and all over the place. How are you feeling?
Very good, very good.
Very
I'm
good.
starting to like you again, little by little.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. Hey, big ups to you, man. Yeah.
It's the wall is. I've been taking down the wall lately,
Mm.
or how do you say? I've been able to crawl over it little by little. I've been making progress. I have to say, it was quite a heavy few weeks, the last 2 3 weeks. But I've been crawling through it. I've been doing my work, my hours, my screen time, chart time, and it's slowly coming together.
Right.
Yeah. What I have learned especially is that nowadays I, contrary to way back, let's say, that I've become a bit of a slower learner.
Mm.
I need a bit more time to absorb stuff and to assimilate new concepts. Um, but I'm still capable of learning it. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
so it's that's it. I mean, that is the reason why I said I'm starting to like you again,
Yeah.
because now every new video that I'm watching, it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I see this, I see that. It's also, it's like you say, oftentimes in your videos is that we just don't see it yet, whatever the subject of that particular point. But it
Mm.
needs time. So it's like a good wine. It needs time to mature.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, so making progress. Perhaps at some point I will even start to love you.
Yeah.
So that will mean that we
Exactly.
will make a lot of progress.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, my man, it has been very good, and it gives me a lot of energy and um, a lot of uh, yeah, um, good feeling to get on with this
Yeah.
and to start to build my own story.
Yes, sir.
Um, it has taken a while, but it's coming together slowly, and kick ball with NQ. Yeah,
Yeah. 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 Hey, I love to hear that, man. It's been cool seeing you grow as well, and you have that entire growth from week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. Now you're in week 6 as well. So that's really cool to see. So as stated, right? You've just finished up week 6, which is basically focusing on the entries. What would you say, just based out of the lecture series, how they're structured, what you're thinking about them, how you're feeling about them, the good parts and the bad parts? I'm talking all of it, right? What are your just general thoughts?
I've been thinking about that a couple of days ago. That at some point when I was hitting that wall, I was thinking, yeah, but I don't see any structure in it, and it's the information is so dense. But
Mm.
again, we need to have patience. Just get through the 6 weeks, and then we will have, like with everything in life, when you look back, you will have a better view, a better understanding of everything that you've been through.
Mm.
And in this particular situation, it has been 6 weeks of 6 different types of information.
Mm.
And I have to say that the first 2 weeks are, for me, that is my experience. Okay, that won't be the same for everybody.
Mm.
But the first 2 weeks were um, more structured than week 3 and 4. But then again, more structured because the concepts were perhaps also more basic.
Yeah.
And once you get into a bit of a deeper concept with this with this model, perhaps it feels like that it's not really, it's less structured.
Yeah.
But even so, you need to get through it.
Yep.
And then again, now that I have access to a bit more videos, it's not a matter of, how should I say, well structured or badly structured. It's more, you have been doing these videos as you went along, and you started it last year. You didn't, I imagine, write everything out in a script and follow the script step by step. So like you would do with even a course file, you know, if you would have a PDF or something, and you just did it how you went along. Of course, there is the first step are the breathing rooms, etc. That makes sense. That structure is in place, but I don't think that now after 6 weeks, even if you would have a certain structure, like even if you would have this course in a PDF format, in a text format, and then make videos based on that, it wouldn't make it necessarily easier or clearer, because it's very personal.
Yeah.
This type of absorbing and assimilating this type of information. So I find that you have done a really good job. Maybe if you want really a type of a little bit of a comment, it's not a critic but a comment, then perhaps you could review a few videos, because it has been so long that you've done them, and perhaps there are a few things that you could take out. I don't know. Like when you talk in week 2 or 3, when you talk about CBCs, a lot of people start asking questions about CBCs, but then we always have to refer them to week 6, you know. So forget about CBCs. But then again, you need to have an example as well. I was thinking about that as well. But even if, imagine you would do a review of all your videos, and then you say, okay, I'm going to take CBCs out. In that particular video, it was necessary that you had a reference to something in the future that we would learn, such as CBCs. So you see, everything, I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but everything has its place.
Yeah.
And that's what I find amazing with you, is that you went along as, or you did the videos as you went along, without a script, without a certain structure, but you had it in your mind. And now that I've gotten to know you a little better as well, is you're a very intelligent person. You're way ahead of your age, mentally and intelligently speaking. So you have this in your mind, and also what you explained to me, I think it was last week, when I asked you in one of the sessions, what did you do before you started creating the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? When you traded it alone before, I think it was for Rene that you said you wanted to create a bit more technical system. Is the fact that you just what you did before is you had everything set in your mind, and it's the same thing with most things that you do. Apparently, you already know what you're gonna do, what you have to do, how you need to do it, and how you will explain it. So it is up to us to step it up and try to be at your level, to be able to comprehend everything at your level. And the basic course is 6 weeks, but like we have seen in the past, some people only need 2, 3 weeks. Other people need 8 to 10 weeks, and that's okay. Everybody has to do it on their own terms, and also people that are working during the day, they don't have that much time, so they need a little bit more time. Um, but everybody has to do it on their own terms, being able to uh, get on your level and understand what you're saying, what you're teaching, how you're teaching it.
Yeah, yeah,
So I've been taking not a long time, but sometimes when I was, for example, I don't know, doing some underway, doing some shopping and thinking about the course when I wasn't at home. Sometimes in a different environment, you see things differently, or you think about
yeah.
things differently, and I couldn't find any particular form of critic or comment to improve. It's not necessary to actually look for something to look for something in particular and say, oh, you need to change this, or in video 2 minutes 35 you have
Yeah.
said this, but that's not correct. No, no. I can only it's not that I want to kiss your ass or anything. It's just a fact. There's nothing that I have found that you could improve.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to, so to say, and I appreciate all the all the kind words and all of that, but you know, in the same manner, it's when we're looking at the lecture series, starting off with that, everything that I did was done essentially first, third take or something like that, just to make sure that, all right, I'm trying to translate my brain. I already know how the entire video is gonna go, not with a script. I'm not following a script, as you can hear. It's very raw. The microphone could be better, if something. That's definitely, I'll attack myself on that. Now when I've upgraded into a really good mic, as you can hear. But then in the same manner, it's raw. It's exactly what I'm trying to translate my brain onto somebody else, and that is very hard when you have to do that in what, 6 weeks, translating a person's view on the markets completely, because it's something completely different. And when it comes to the lecture series, and I've said this to the other guys, but there's a lot of people listening to this that don't know, right? I would say when it comes to the lectures, you know, we see that the majority of the questions come in week 2 and week 3. And we've seen that because that's where the main, you know, big questions come along. And in week 4, everybody turns quiet, because now their questions are also answered for week 4. Because what? You need to understand all kinds of things before you move on to the next one. And the hard part about the system is really what is happening if you're having the overview of week 1 through 6, is that week 1 and 2 is very objective, and week 3 transitions you into week 4, which is completely subjective. And that's where the big questions come in, right? That's when you go, all right, why is he doing week 2 and week 3? Well, you don't know what week 4 looks like yet. And because you don't know what week 4 looks like, of course, there's going to be a lot of questions. Why are you doing certain things in a certain manner? But when week 4 hits, a lot of people go, oh, now I see. It's not that you have to understand everything in week 3 or in week 4 for that, week 2 for that matter. But it's the perspective on how you need to be taught certain things is underlying into building up, right? I mention something and then we bring it up later. I mention something, then we bring it up later. And that's not to confuse you. That's simply so whenever I mention something later on, you already, somewhere in your mind, you've heard that before. And you are essentially surrounding yourself in all the information. So as you can see in week 6, actually in week 3, that's all the information right there. You don't need more information than that, right? But the perspective on how I'm explaining it is not so deep yet. It goes essentially from week 1, 2, 3 being very objective, and explaining it from a really bad standpoint on objectivity in terms of the entire model at week 3. That's what I do, right? But the problem is I don't go deep on it. I don't explain every single certain scenario very deep on it, because that would be even more chaotic, because I need to explain it in a very, very light way so it doesn't get information overload so you give up. It needs to be mentioned, it needs to be quickly explained, because you will not understand all of this until you understand numbers characteristics, which is week 4. And then in week 5 we go into a more advanced lecture on week 3, which is multi-time frame sequence, which is more advanced than the advanced sequence, right? But in order for you to understand week 5, you need to understand week 4. And in order for you to understand week 5, you need to understand week 3 in a very slight way. And then week 5 explains all that. So it is built up like that because I have to mention everything to you in order for you to understand week 4. Because if you don't understand week 4, you will not understand everything. And that's exactly what the problem. You have to sort of make a decision on the deep part of if you're supposed to understand a very, very deep, have a deep understanding of week 4, you really need to, understand everything at the same time, or you've heard everything at the same time, so to say. But when it comes to then later on, week 5 and week 6, that goes deeper on that. And it's fascinating also, you mentioned, you've gotten to know me more and more, and how my brain functions, right? And you've talked to me a whole lot on over these couple of weeks, and you said that it's almost like essentially knowing before you know what to do. You already know, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's quite you mentioned something, and you're also a pretty good person reader from my perspective, because that's something that I've mentioned and talked to a lot about with a guy from Australia, Int. You might have seen him in he doesn't show up. He's just kicking ass with the market all the time. he doesn't show up. He's just there, racking it in. But a very, very, very smart person. And I talk a lot of good stuff about him. He doesn't say too much good stuff about me, but but that's how it goes. And essentially, we were talking, and he started to just dissect my brain, how I think, right? And what I mentioned to him was how I view everything in life, how I view certain problems, and this is where it translates into, again, the guy I mentioned to you in the announcement section there. I don't know if you saw that, but I had a conversation with a multi $100 million plus person that called me, and I was able to solve something for him, and he saved a lot of money on that, a lot of millions on that for his company, and that's what I mean. And that guy went to me and said, Jay, you have a mind that is worth literally millions on paper, because you saved so much in 5 minutes of a conversation about how my company is structured. And that right there is something that, I haven't understood about my own brain. And you tend to limit yourself in terms of, this is what I believe. And I talk to everybody about, stop putting limitations on yourself. And that's when you see Robert or Kai or Int or whomever that has like crazy amount of R's, and they don't care about what other people on X tell them, what is possible and what is not. But in this manner as well, I've been able to limit myself in terms of, I'm really good at trading, and that's what I'm good at. But now I got caught up in that same thing as well, right? I look at myself with that limiting belief of what my brain is capable of. Yes, in my opinion, I solve the market for me. Everybody that are consistently profitable, they have solved the market. Some people say you can't solve the market. Of course you can. Dumbass if you say that you can't solve the market. I'm not saying 100%, but the market is has a perfect imperfection essentially, and you can't reach 100%. But if you are changing up the odds in your favor against the house, you win. That is a perfect system. That is a perfect situation. You have solved the market. That is solving the market, even though it's not 100%. And essentially knowing how to do certain things before knowing what to do. What I explained to Int in a picture was, imagine you're driving a car on the highway, right? You're driving the car on a highway, and far up ahead you see a log laying across the street, so you can't pass it. I see that log, and some people would say, oh shit, right? God dang it, essentially. And some people see that log and say, oh God dang it, what do I do now? Right? First response. I don't ever think like that. Because as soon as I see the log, my brain goes into an unconscious spin of how do I solve the problem? Right? Everybody thinks the same.
You would put it in your trunk and take it home
Yeah.
for the fire, you know.
Exactly. No, but I'm essentially thinking, even before I even approach it, I think, how do I solve it? And then,
Yep.
and this is the very important part, how my brain personally functions. When I then see that tree laying across the street, I look at it and I go, okay, this is how I would solve it. And as soon as I step out of the car, some people step out of the car just to examine it and try to solve the problem. But for me, before I even step out of the car, I already know what to do. And that's the main difference. And guess what? And here's the crazy part. Some people would actually go try to solve it, right? Because that would satisfy them, of course. If I can solve that tree laying across the street, lovely. For me, I've already solved it in my brain, which means I don't have to solve it physically. So for me, it's about, I solve something, but then I don't have to do anything about it if I don't want to. The one thing that is annoying to me is not being able to solve a problem in my brain. Right? I can't, if I can't solve a problem where I see a problem up ahead, I need to solve that problem, but I don't have to do anything about it to get rid of that tree across the road. Some people would, and I could, yes. But the more annoying part to me is actually not that it's a tree laying there. It's about the problem that tree is there for, and how do I solve that problem? And then I don't have to care about actually solving it physically. I just have to essentially solve it mentally. And that is very interesting, right? Because now suddenly you're in a situation and you look at the market. And you take that perspective into the market. I look at the market. I solve what is going to happen next, but I don't have to execute on it. See what is happening there? Because now it's a matter of, do I want to execute on it, or do I want to partake in it? Do I feel confident in taking a trade?
That is also because of your proactive nature, the fact that you're already thinking ahead so fast.
Yeah.
That gives you this possibility to decide on whether to act on it or not.
Exactly.
What for me helped a lot, Jay, is what you spoke about in one of the sessions last week about looking at the market as people management.
Yeah.
And giving something to receive something.
Yep.
Remember?
Yeah, of course.
What you said about it? That is just normal for me in daily life. And back when I did my job, managing teams and so on, that's normal because they teach you as well to manage people like this. But I never actually had this reflection which was kind of stupid, but still it's the case. I never had this reflection to look at it the same way in the market,
Mm.
and it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Makes so much sense, and it's like once you see it like that, it's like seeing it like you do. You already know if you have to act on it or not. Well, I'm not at that point as where you are, of course, but I can feel it. I can see it. I know what's there. I know what's possible, and I know uh, what I'm working towards. Towards which objective in particular. And then that is an amazing feeling for the first time in my life
Yeah.
since I started trading. That is, yeah. So kudos to you, my man. Really. And
Uh,
also, you say, like, for example, the log example, you don't see things like that. As I've gotten to know you, you don't see things like that as a problem
yeah,
because that's
exactly.
not really in your vocabulary. You
Yeah.
see it more as an obstacle that you have to. Okay, it's something that, yeah, one of those things that come along and you have to treat it. You have to, yeah, solve it.
Yeah, I mean, when I speak to my wife about how do we as a couple and as a partnership, how do we recognize certain situations in life, right? I'm definitely way better at solving problems, as a man should be many times. And I usually say that she is really good at recognizing the problem, and I'm usually very good at solving it. And that's a great team spirit. But what I mean with this is when we talk about how do we view life in general, that many times comes with that deep understanding. Now, I can promise you this. This is a promise to everybody listening as well. If you watch life essentially as some sort of magical place with sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns jumping around, pooping donuts, whatever, everything in life is going to be harder. Everything is going to be harder because that's just not the reality of life, right? Especially for a man. But if you view the life essentially as one big problem from the get-go, right? I see everything, every single day that I wake up is a problem that I need to solve. First and foremost, that is very fun to me. I love that. I love that critical thinking because now it's just fun, exciting. What is going to happen today that I have to solve? Satisfaction, right? Sometimes it's annoying stuff, but sometimes, in the majority, I would say 95% of the times, it's fun to solve problems that I have in front of me, right? And it can be business problems, it can be friend problems, it can be whatever it might be. But whenever that hits, I don't see that as a problem. Why? Because my expectation, right? We talk about that a whole lot in the market. My expectation is already that there's going to be a lot of problems today. A lot of problems. That's not something bad. It's just my expected reality. And if I wake up with that perspective, whenever there is not a problem, guess what? I'm going to be actually seeing sunshine and rainbows, right? In comparison to the person that wakes up with the idea that today is also going to be a day with sunshine and rainbows. That person has a very low probability chance of seeing it because now every problem is going to be a bigger problem because that's not their expectation that problem is going to exist. But I already expect it to exist there. And therefore, my perspective, as you mentioned it, I don't see things as a problem. I just see it as every day, right? I never see anything as a problem. I just see, all right, cool. And I solve that unconsciously and then it's gone because I'm so wired that way. And I think that in life and in general, for a lot of men and for a lot of people that are pushing towards success, wake up with the mindset that every day is going to be a problem. If you actually want to be very successful in whatever you do, wake up with the idea that every day is going to be a problem. Whenever there's not a problem, I'm not saying look for the problems or try to create your own problems. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you have that simple view set on life, that every day you wake up, it's a problem, new day, right? Whenever there's not a problem, that's when the sunshines and rainbows are actually going to hit you. You're going to feel more happy than when you wake up expecting it to always be there, because it's not going to be there all the time. And this is what I spoke about with my wife. She's the definition of life is a beautiful place, and sunshines and rainbows, and every day is a wonderful day, right? Every day when I wake up, I should feel happy, excited. I'm gonna look good whenever I wake up. I'm going to be well fitted. I'm not gonna be tired. I'm gonna be excited. That's just not the reality, right? And I wake up feeling like, all right, if I'm not dead when I wake up, I'm happy, right? And I'm always gonna be happy because I'm not dead, right? That's what I mean. It's that perspective, right? So when you look at problems in general life, nothing is supposed to be a problem every single day. And I actually got taught this from a young age from my mother, right? And she is the one who says every day in life in general is just a big problem that you have to solve. And there's such a powerful saying within that for entrepreneurs, for traders, for people that are trying to reach that success state and buy back their time. Every day is a problem. That's the cost. You're going to see life as every day is a problem. And it takes a whole lot of you to see that. Now I went deeper on this, but do you see what I mean?
Depending how you see problem, with a negative connotation or a positive connotation,
Yeah.
of course. So exactly, every day is a gift that you're able to solve problems.
Yeah.
And being grateful
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
God or the universe, or
Yeah.
to be able to be alive another day, to be able
Yeah.
to solve problems. Because basically what you're saying is, if you create a life for yourself where you can solve problems, um, at least that is a life with meaning and with some objective, instead of waking up every day and going into the treadmill like millions of other people,
Yeah.
going to work, being stuck in traffic, doing your hours, somebody else that decides for you when you can take a break, when you can take a holiday, when you can go
Yeah.
back home, and then do the rest of your life. I mean, that is basically what you're saying. It's a state of mind,
Yeah.
just looking at life like this and creating that life for yourself. And well, respect to your mom as well, to have taught you that at a young age. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't think she knew what it was gonna mean for her life and because of me. But I think she's pretty satisfied with that, with that, with that one liner. Um, but coming back to the 6-week program and all of that, how again, there's probably a lot of people. Again, we've seen that before. What would you say in terms of to the person? We said that in week 2, I think. What now when you're finished the entire thing, everything is done, right? Well, you've jumped into the focus group and all that. But what would you say to that person who is like on the edge of joining because it's almost somewhat expensive now, and it's, I don't know if I don't have the time. I don't know if it's if I can do this thing. What would you say to that person from you, and 100% honest from a student perspective, not only from a mentor's perspective?
If you're still doubting, if you're still on the verge of deciding if you should do it or not, that means that you don't have a lot of faith, perhaps, in yourself. I can only say that look for the reviews about this program, and you will see how people experience it, what they are learning, how they are learning it, what they are feeling about it. And it's not just another program that is trying to be sold. It is actually changing people, to have them change their lives. And I'm just in the middle of it, and I'm feeling it, without any weight of a dictionary of I don't know, 100 pages of terminology you have to learn, and 50 indicators and whatnot. It's just the candles.
Right.
And if you still aren't convinced, then keep on looking. I mean, you have enough information after all, hearing all the podcasts that we've done so far.
Mm.
You should be able to make a decision for yourself. And even so, it's not $1,000, is it? Um, if a lot of nowadays, a lot of people are spending way more in prop accounts and evaluations,
Yeah.
$1,000 before they even have a system,
Yeah.
before they even are stable and coherent with their, or consistent rather, with their way of trading. So invest that money, only what, perhaps a tenth of the money you would invest in evaluations, and invest it in the 6-week program.
Yeah.
Give yourself 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or even 10.
Mm.
Any other system that you learn takes months to dominate as well, to make it yours as well, even if you have to copy 100% someone else with another system.
Yeah.
This gives you the tools to create your own system. And we all the people here look the same way towards the market. We see it when we share screenshots and our trades and everything. Of course, it's all in the same context, but everybody has a different way of seeing the market, and we don't doubt anymore about, should I take this trade, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
So go to wop.com and read the reviews, I'd say.
Yeah.
And you will find it for yourself. So yeah, it's
Yeah, and I mean the reviews as well. You know, they're not paid actors. I want their honest review in the same way I want your honest review on the 6-week program and on the structure and how I teach and all kinds of metrics, right? Because I want to actually make sure that people learn this stuff. I do it as a passion project. I have a lot of things that I want to do as well in life, but you know, this also gives me a whole lot more meaning, right? I do believe in helping people in all kinds of ways, and as we, you know, even before we started to record this today, we chatted for some time right before it, and discussed about, you know, about life in general, and you were asking me if I take time off and all of those things, and you gave me a bunch of new perspectives. So for me, I get to learn from a lot of people that I don't have knowledge in, right? You're older than me, for example. Leo is older than me, and he has more experience in life in general. That's something that I don't have. That is worth a lot to me, right? And I think that when you're in this sort of space, when you're in a situation where I'm able to actually help people, I get a lot of it back. I get a lot of, you know, good perspectives on life and all kinds of things back. And it actually helps me conquer certain things, become better at what I do outside of trading, right? Trading is not my life. And I don't care if the 6-week program really were to shut down, or if I don't want to teach anymore. I don't really care, right? Because my trading works. People have seen that multiple hours in live price and in back testing and all kinds of things. But also in life outside of trading, right? That's what I'm looking to grow. I'm looking to grow as a person at all times. I think that if you stop learning, if you stop getting new perspectives, you're just, you know, incompetent. A matter of fact, you have low IQ if you think that I need to only surround myself in a situation where people 100% agree with everything that I say. No, absolutely not. We have a lot of people in the focus group that don't agree with certain things. For example, we have people that trade the higher time frames, even though I say it's for slow people, right? Low IQ, slow people, high time frames. And I, I've said that to Dave, I've said that to Stoic, but they keep on trading that thing. But there's something to learn from that, right? There's something to learn from. Of course, I don't believe it in the same way they do, but there's still a lot of things I can learn from that. And it's actually the people that I don't agree with that I want to chat with, right? I love to chat with people that I don't agree with. I love it. Why?
Of course, you learn different views.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, that makes it interesting. That's true.
I mean, so if something, I want to chat with people that are coming from ICT. I would like to change perspectives from people that are coming from ICT, from TJR, CRT, whatever all these drip-fed communities are coming from. I love to chat with those people because I've been there, right? And somebody was able to transform my mind and change my perspective in the better, in my opinion. And I love to speak to people that are operating on a completely different wavelength than I am, because we have differences. I can learn something from that. And I had a chat with another guy. I don't know what his name is anymore. I think something Austin. But he is very ran by fundamentals and time, I think. Time-based stuff. And as we know, I hate time-based stuff, right? But I still sat down and chatted with him, and I was like, oh, very interesting, fascinating. And he was looking at my things that he doesn't care about, and he said, oh, very interesting, right? That is high IQ individuals. You have to understand, you want to discuss things with people that think differently. But we are also in an environment in this industry where, guess what? People don't like you if they don't believe you. I love people that don't, that I don't agree with, rather. I love to chat with those people. Bring it on, right? I would love to speak to you, right? And because there's something for me to learn from that. And in the same way that when, with all the people I've met from the 6-week program, there's so much talent that it's absolutely crazy. And when it comes to, and I see some people saying that, I can't somewhat help everyone. I can't make sure to see that everyone becomes profitable. Now, you might call me blonde-haired and blue-eyed eyes, right? Which I am, funnily enough. But I do believe that everybody can be profitable. 100%. 100%. I believe everybody can, because I was able to, and I'm not the smartest person on planet Earth. I was just able to be lucky enough to find my thing, and that thing works for me, and I know it works for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of others. People have just not caught up with who I am and what the shit show model is. And I truly believe that. So, and I am, it's a passion project out of seeing other people succeed with the same thing I have succeeded in life with, or money-wise, rather.
That should also be an alert, or how do you say, something that that takes off in the sense that the fact that it's not your main project, or your main business, is that you don't depend on it completely. And you have a far broader perspective in the way of teaching it, the way of viewing it, the way of applying it, and simply the way you talk about it, compared to people who only have trading and want to sell their courses and keep on their members to keep paying a monthly subscription and whatnot, because that's what makes them money. So with you, it's the complete opposite. That also is something that is unseen, and for people that are on the verge of perhaps should I do it or should I not, is um, keep an open mind,
Yeah.
as you should with everything in life.
Mm.
Keep an open mind. Like Jay, you just said that even with people with opposed views to yours, you still chat with them. So the more you keep an open mind in life, the more you will learn, and the faster you will grow, and the more success you will have. It's
Right.
the same way, the same thing for people that are doubting to take this course or not.
Yeah.
Is keep an open mind, and you will know quickly after a few weeks if this is for you or not. But
Yeah.
even so, complete the 6 weeks, and then you will see what is possible. So
Yeah.
um, it's quite straightforward, to be honest. But yeah, you have this innate ability to have an open mind towards everything, and that is what makes you successful.
Yeah, I think
And
actually, you put words to it. I think that's actually the reason why I've been able to, for myself and for many others, right? And I'm able to also transition that openness to other people, and being honest. I mean, as you mentioned, I have probably the worst business model in this industry, probably, because um, what is supposed, if you look at the industry as a whole as the shit show model, or when you're trying to teach somebody something else, right? Informational products, so to say. If you're doing a really good job, you will have other people that are outperforming everything and becoming really good at it, right? So now they will be essentially your competition, right? That's essentially what it is. And that it's at the same time, you also have, if you're underperforming, people are not going to be willing to look at it and join, right? And so you're right in the middle. And these rats and these mosquitoes in this industry that have, a monthly based super expensive subscription of, I don't know, multiple hundreds of dollars every single month, that is, again, that is a way for you to keep you just enough confused, just give you enough to from that hand that feeds you, right? So if you eat from that hand, they will just give you just about enough for you to survive, so you feel like that's the only thing that will make me survive. You will have a dopamine spike up in the air, and then it will drop lower and lower, and then dopamine spike again, right before you decide to, all right, I'm gonna change direction. And then they live off of that. They are amazing at what they do, which is keeping you just about alive. But that's not my goal. I don't care if everything were to shut down. I just wanted to speak about what I see. And when I speak about what I see in the market and the shit show model, how it changed my life, how it changed hundreds of others, that stuff is, I do that out of passion. I have so many other things that I'm doing. I'm trading, and the rest of the time, what I do, right? Now I'm working on real estate businesses. I'm working on software development. I'm working on all of these things are, really, really, that's my passion project really as well. That's where I make a lot of money as well. So
yeah,
these things are big in terms of, this is how I started, and my goal from the beginning was make money with trading, transition that into other businesses that I want to create. And guess what? I'm gonna say this out loud as well. I've always had a little kid's dream to be more like Tony Stark, right? from Iron Man, like create these crazy, AI that just speaks to me. I can joke around with it. I can create some really cool, like imagine creating a flying suit. Like how awesome would that be? All of these things. And people say, you're crazy, man. You're crazy, man. Well, people thought I was crazy when it came to trading as well. Isn't that funny how that works? What
that's
I'm able,
amazing.
what I'm able to perform, how I'm able to perform in the markets. People said it's not possible. People still tell me it's not possible. Guess, look at me now, right? Look at how many hundreds are doing it as well. how hundreds are believing it as well now, as soon as they started to see it themselves. So
physically, you would be a Captain America in a Tony Stark position, but physically speaking, I mean,
yeah,
you can combine the two. You would be the superhero.
yeah. But you know, it's so when people tell me now, and I had a chat with, for some reason, the entire leftist Sweden about this perspective. I put out a thread somewhere. Like, I tried out the app Thread. I got like hundreds and hundreds of comments, and I literally told people that the reason why you're not rich and successful is because you tell yourself you can't. That's the fact.
Yeah.
I could not care about what anybody else says to me. Like, I've seen people that have, mega autism that can't even speak, have made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars just themselves, just sitting, doing nothing. We have literally influencers that are dumb as donkeys. Imagine that. And they're making more money than you. They are literally so dumb and so smart at the same time that they make so much more money than you just speaking about their opinions. And they make hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month because they're what? They told themselves they can do it. So it doesn't have to do with IQ. You don't have to go specifically into trading space. No, you can just, if you just say to yourself that it's possible, it's going to be possible. And
But in 2026, now introvert people can do anything from their homes. From they don't have to interact if they are not extrovert enough, if they're not feeling sure for themselves, if they are too autistic, they can still be very successful nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
and
that's what makes it so fun.
Yeah, and that limitation, right? That limitation, I would say that's probably, I don't know what you think, but that's probably the most powerful thing when it comes to this model. People on the outside see, 50 hours a week from somebody. And then they go, not true. Well, you don't think it's true, makes it not true. And some people in the focus group that are now pulling up with 50 hours in 1 week, you have to understand that they came from a spot where you were at as well, not believing it. And then they started to work through it. I had to see if this is true. And now they're sitting doing it. And now they're laughing at their old self from not believing that. And guess what? That limiting belief is what keeps you right where you're at. That is the whole problem. And the most frustrating part for me when it comes to all of this, that limiting belief was not yours from the beginning. That's the most disgusting part. That's somebody else's limiting belief put on your mind. Why? To keep you in an informational loop so you keep on supporting them, not yourself. That is the most disgusting, manipulative part about this entire thing. And that's why I say learn, practice, and piss off when it comes to the shit show model.
At the end of the day, Jay, you can only lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
Yeah.
If people are so how do you say that again? Prejudged.
Yeah.
From my own words now, they have prejudgments.
Yeah.
That they are blocked from progressing. That if they have a predetermined state of mind, that they won't adapt to other opinions and other point of views, then that's their problem. You can only show them, So
right.
It is disgusting, but at the end of the day, everybody is responsible for themselves, for their own success, and you show them the way. They only have to follow it. And also another thing, what you mentioned earlier about the dopamine spikes, that made me think as well. Is that we are living in a society where the dopamine hits are continuously hitting us. They're constant through social media, and I suck at social media, and I don't like it. I mean, I only have an X account to follow you, to follow Stoic in the beginning, and then that's the only thing. I have I don't know, 20 followers or something, whatever. And now that we have this podcast, I use it just to repost the podcast
Yeah.
and to promote the program.
Promote
And
yourself.
apart from that, I don't have anything else. An old Instagram account that I don't use. So I have to say that because also that I'm the fact that I come from an analog background before the internet and before social media, perhaps it's easier for me to stay away from it. But I don't need it anyway.
Yeah.
There's so much uh, vitriol on social media. You know how it goes, right? With all
Oh yeah.
the negativity you get when you post something. Um, but the what I was about to say is through social media, it is so known, and the young people now, the adolescents that have continuously dopamine spike,
Yeah.
and the moment they don't have one, they get anxious.
Yeah.
What I wanted to get at is if the people that are listening to this, that are not part of the program, if you are able to postpone your dopamine spike just for a couple of weeks, the dopamine spike that I'm referring to, as in becoming profitable, or at least start to trade the SS model, because that's what a lot of us want in the beginning. That's why there are also a lot of questions for the first 2 weeks. We are learning new stuff, so we want to apply it on the charts and start making money, right? But if you can just delay that dopamine um, with a few weeks, it will change your life.
Yeah.
Even so, I've done the 6 weeks. I'm not there yet, but it's already changing my life. So just that was something else I was thinking about earlier, that if people are able to set aside um, the trading side of this process, so to say, for a couple of weeks, they will get far if they step into if they join the program. But then again, you can only show them the way, Jay. They have to do it.
Yeah. Of course, but it's and that's somewhere where you're gonna take a hit. In the beginning, I think I'm kind of done with thinking what people think about me or care about what people think about me. I've used to do that in my past life. I usually say past life, meaning, disgusting loser lifestyle that I used to have. I cared a lot about what people thought about me, which put, guess what, limitations on myself. Like, I can't do this and that. And trading for me was something that, to prove to myself that if I can do trading, and this came from a business person who said he sat in a podcasty thing, and he said trading and day trading is the hardest business move that you can do. Everybody can do it, everybody can join, but a very, very few amount can succeed with it, doing it by yourself. And I said to myself in that situation, well, if so few amounts of people can actually do it, what does that mean? That means that if I can do it, I can do anything that I want. So it was also a redemption move from my end to say, if I'm able to solve the market for me, that means what? That means that I'm going to be able to do whatever I want. And and that's when I'm looking back at those things when I started, and I had this view on the market that everything is possible in here. And I came into the industry, and then hundreds and hundreds of people told me that it's not possible. This is not possible. This is all filled out of lies, and this is not possible. But then I realized over time, as I go on, all of these people are essentially the liars in the industry. And because everything is possible. If you think 100 hours is possible in a week, it's going to be 100%. Yeah. And the people that tell me that it's just unrealistic, you are a dumbass. And I'll be firm with that. Stop putting limitations on your own performance. Stop putting limitations on that.
Stop listening to others. Stop being influenced by others. And stop repeating what others say.
And that's the full-on reason how I did not become successful sooner or solve the market sooner than I did, because I had the same beliefs that I have today. I had the same beliefs about the market when I first joined. Isn't that crazy? And then it was delayed because people told me it was not possible, meaning limitations from other people pushed upon my head because I was a new trader coming into the space and people told me not possible. And then they sort of tried to drag me into their bullshit, which some succeeded to. And then when I really became profitable, like really successful with it, was when I went back to the same feeling I had from day one about trading. Everything is possible. I can sit down, take a trade whenever, 330 setups in a week, unlimited potential. If I want to make a lot of trades, I'll take a lot of trades, whenever, wherever. This is what I mean with why I'm doing certain things.
It's easy to explain in a way that it's the other side of arrogance.
Yeah.
Let me explain. It's if you're conscious and trying not to be arrogant, if you're conscious about that, what do you do when you come into trading? You listen to other people because you don't know it. You're not going to come into trading and say start a channel and a program and saying, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know how the market goes, this and that, and you don't listen to other people. No, if you're a bit conscious, you start listening to other people, follow other people, and try to learn what other people, successful people, are doing.
Yeah.
You just want to have success. So that is a bit the thin line about, how should I say, if you're progressing in life, and if you have time, look up Dr. David Hawkins. It talks about that as well. If you make progress in life, at a certain point, you start to level up. You start to vibrate on a different frequency. You can actually measure those frequencies. That is also something very interesting. You can quantify it, and you can actually lead a better life, attract more abundance, and feel more complete, happier. Actually having getting somewhere in your life.
Yeah.
Once you're doing that, once you're leveling up, you're becoming, and that is from the point of view from people that are stuck in their lives, you are becoming arrogant because you're progressing so far that at a certain point you don't. It's difficult to explain, but at a certain point, you're not always seeing how people are struggling to cope with people that are having success, but they're stuck in their own views, and they don't want to adapt, or they don't want to get out of their comfort zone, etc., etc. But that is what I want to say is, because you are not arrogant. You weren't when you started, when you came into trading. So you listened to other people, but at some point you had to say, "This is enough."
Yeah.
If I keep following these people, I will never have success. So that's why you branched off into your own path and actually started developing your own stuff.
Yeah.
And you had to become a little bit arrogant in that perspective to be able just to become independent in trading and successful in trading. And that is just something that I wanted to say is my hat off to you that you were able to do that. On top of that, at your age, it's only more of becoming a sales pitch for you and for the assess model, but it is a fact. It is a fact.
And also regarding all of this, what you just said, which is extremely powerful and 100% correct, is also that there is a reason why I say learn, practice, and piss off, and you have to apply you to this. The reason why I'm saying that is because nobody in this industry tells you that, because they want you to pay a subscription fee every single month. That's and I actually teach you how to find yourself within something. And the only thing I go about it is find you within it, because I want you to succeed. I would gladly want you to succeed. Guess what? Because I'll have a lot of cool friends in the future that have succeeded in life. And I also get invited to Spain, to to Italy. I take advantage of what people have. But on a real
It's
note,
amazing.
it's the perspective on, you get to meet a lot of cool people if you actually want to help them and help them succeed in life. And that's what life is about, seeing others succeed. And I would gladly do so in the same way I have.
And
And the perspective adding on to become arrogant, find your thing, right? All of those things is the underlying 100% of the time factor that I'm trying to induce into every single person that joins the 6-week program or the shit show model at all times.
there you go.
It's the same formula that I had to go through. I speak out of my own experience. And that's something very, very powerful.
And these people that you're helping to change and to progress and to become successful, they will all, some of them will also have a few other businesses.
Yeah.
And some of those people will become potential business partners with you.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of I forgot the term now, but it's kind of self-sustaining in a way that you are forming people and training people to become successful who will have funds to start other things
Yeah.
apart from trading, which could lead to other business opportunities with you, which makes you even more successful.
Yeah.
And you have different income streams with other businesses that you even haven't thought about, but
Yeah.
other people did. So it's only it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in the way that it is so powerful and so freaking interesting that it's becoming addictive. At this point now, I'm already thinking about what is my second, my other project that I want
There
to
you go.
do.
There you
And
go.
apart from that one, there are a few other things that I already have in mind that I'm taking note of.
Yeah.
If I need to take a break from, for example, from the charts, because we can't be 24 hours on the charts. I'm already looking for, okay, what is I want to do? I'm finding a solution to a problem nowadays with AI and with a simple bit of coding, you can do so many things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And
so
that's what I mean. And that's a perspective in which essentially what I'm creating traders, self-sustained traders, but also with that same mindset, I'm able to take my brain into saying, watch this perspective. And you jump into my brain, finding your brain, finding the power within your own mind. And because of that, now you're thinking, what is the next move? What is the next move? And that's the entire model, by the way, predicting the future, right? So you're essentially taking the entire model, applying it into life. And that's how I see it as well. How do I predict the next move? How do I do all of these things? I want to, okay, what is the next thing after this? So you're putting a new level on top of your game, and I'm not speaking about it. And I've never even tried to tell you specifically, all right, Leo, you should 100% focus on build this thing. No. This happens almost automatically in your brain. I give you a tiny push of, look, what is the next move? Look, what is the next thing that you want to do? So now you are in the focus group with no limitations, really smart people, high value individuals. You know they will get the work done. And you have a community where people have essentially a shit ton of money and they are able to invest in whatever you want to do. Look at what just happened. And that is only because, well, essentially the entire thing is just a shit show, isn't it? That's
hallelujah.
Yeah, exactly. So regarding all of this, what is, and to round something like this up, what would be the last words you would say to somebody that are listening to this conversation right now?
Come join us.
Come join.
What else can we add to it? Simply come join us. Even apart from doing homework, learning new stuff, taking notes, being in the sessions and chatting on Discord with the other guys and fooling around and like last Friday, I was lit. I was no joke. I was crying from laughing. That I
Hey,
said at some point, yeah, but stop it. It's too much. It
yeah,
is.
it's a lot of fun.
There's some really, really amazing people here, and I don't know even half of them.
Yeah,
That is also a thing, Jay, that you have like more than 1,000 people in your group,
yeah,
but not everybody is there. And sometimes somebody else comes along, that
yeah,
hasn't connected since a while, and then you start to get to know other people.
yeah,
It's amazing because so many different cultures from so many different places all over the world
yeah,
that brings something to the table. We can learn so much from everybody. Is very, very powerful,
yeah.
and it's a very nice group. To round it off is stop faffing about and just join us, man, or woman.
Yeah, exactly.
It's we could use a few more women perhaps as well, to balance it out. Yeah,
Hey,
that
it's
I could
crazy.
say. Hey,
Turning into a
but
dating
now
website.
that would be, yeah, a spin-off from the shit show
Yeah,
model. Yeah.
shit show
But
dating.
imagine how in now philosophically speaking, how women would look towards this type of trading and
Yeah,
forming their own story. That must be also something very interesting, perhaps also an idea
yeah,
for a podcast, who knows. Is we are quite a few guys. I think there are, I've seen a few women, but they don't talk much. But how are women actually developing
yeah.
their point of view towards the markets with their story and,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and this model? That is also something very
Very
interesting, I
interesting.
think.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Very
anyway,
interesting. Yeah, 100%.
we're
Yeah,
digressing
yeah. Yeah, man. But
as usual.
at the end of the day, I'm very happy. You got the program for free. I got to know you. I will still know you after this point, and we'll keep on chatting as always. If people want to see more of you, which a lot of people seem to enjoy you, right? Enjoy what you have to say. You're a very smart individual. I would say you're pretty much wired the same way I am in many cases, to be honest with you, and how we view things on the deeper, more vibrant, creative perspective, right? Painting things out almost in front of us before we even speak it out. So you have a painting in front of your eyes, and then you try to explain that painting. Whenever you try to
Take that
speak,
as a compliment. Thank you.
of course, yeah. That's a very, very deep. That's a different perspective to have on life and in problem solving as well. So that's gonna take you very far, man. But yeah, it's been truly my pleasure, and I would gladly take hours and many more hours just to speak with you, right? Because you have such a strong mindset, and yeah. And if people want to see more podcasty things with you, I would gladly do that, and maybe invite other people, and we can try to chat about other things. But this is very, very very, very informative and helping me as well in how I'm thinking. People many times help me understand how my brain functions by asking me the right questions, and that's not questions I can ask myself, because that would be very, very hard. So I highly appreciate your time, and it's glad to see you on board, and we'll see many, 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 many things more from you, especially me and the focus group, at least.
Most definitely, most definitely. And if there are any comments on the podcast, apologies if I don't answer or if I haven't seen them. Like I said before, I suck at social media. um, Reading comments and all that stuff, it's something that perhaps at some point I will take some time for it. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
don't
it's not
feel the
that it's
need
not
though.
appreciated. On the contrary, every comment is appreciated for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man, and again, thank you for the time. To many, many, many more hours to come, and yeah,
Yes, my friend. Most definitely.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you one last time, Leo. Probably. We'll see. And chat with you soon.
Okay, man.
All
Take
right.
care.
See you around.
Bye-bye.
Bye.